because I might have hurt the person. And it is possible that when you're working with that stuff, so now we're going to work down into the calves, that you might end up hurting somebody a bit. And just have them breathe. I mean, it's just part of the process. It's not hurting them like deep tissue massage does, but it can be a bit painful. And then we're back into the calves that you're just going to do the deep thumb kneading. So right now I'm still just kind of warming it up too. So again, whatever Swedish moves that you need to warm it up. His calves aren't too bad today at all, so you can see how pliable they are and movable. And now he has a little bit here in the muscle that I can feel a little tight. It's a little deeper, so I'm just going to lightly work it first, and then I can work it a little bit more later. Now, the bone's there too, but it's the meat that I'm doing, so I want to make sure I'm into the muscle. Breathe. So just using a little bit of compression, because I could feel it, and I could feel him tense. So you know if they're tensing that there's something going on there, so work with it. Don't just back off totally. Work with that person, and get them to breathe so that they're kind of doing their part too. Okay, so now we're going to get into a fist glide, so breathe if you need to. You can feel the muscle underneath giving me a little bit of reaction back, like it's kind of like it's pushing back on me instead of going with me. It's kind of puffing against me as I, instead of coming, in, it's actually pushing out, kind of. It's almost like it's resistance. Okay, again. There it goes. Okay, and then I'm going to do the inside. Now this hand is kind of holding the leg too, so that I have some support. Yeah, that side's not so bad. Just moves really easy. Okay, and then I'm going to do a deep palmar glide. So breathe again if you need to. And this is where the pillow comes in, because I don't want to be pushing where his ankle would have an issue. This way his foot is okay, and I'm still only pushing on here. Then I'm not actually hurting anything else on him or putting something out that I shouldn't be. Okay. Thumb stripping. Now this one can be a little tender because the amount of space, right, the pressure points that we're using. So we're going to strip it, so again, breathe if you need to. Not bad. Yeah, you can tell this side doesn't really have the problem, compared to the other. And now it's even more. And then just finish with an lymphatic drainage, so the effleurage. And then you're going to continue on to the other leg. Okay, so oil on. Now, even though that the back of the legs were worked, the front of his legs are a little cold. Okay, now from his daytime job, his knees are a bit callous because he's on his knees doing cabinets and different things. So that's not anything that we have to worry about or that. So again, we got to warm them up. And I always find it interesting too how even though we've been working the back of the leg and it should be nice and warm, that the front of the leg isn't. You can feel that? Okay. Okay, so you're going to get into some deep palmar, so we'll just start first a little bit lighter. Now go a little bit deeper. Breathe. Because as you're going deeper, you also are hitting other muscles too that you weren't hitting when you were doing superficial. Okay, feeling pounding. Yeah, it's this. He's breathing when I'm doing this one, so this one here is a little tight for him. So I'll just work it a little bit more. Okay, and then we're going to go into the knee. Breathe. It's just really tight is why I'm asking him to breathe. Breathe. He doesn't really have much muscle right there. It's really lean. So now, if somebody had knee surgery, knee work, you've got to just be more careful knowing what's happening in there. I might not work it as much if somebody had. Okay, and then working into now the calves. So just warm them up. Is that white in there? That you can see the white page? Nope. Okay. Okay, so before I can get into the elbow work and all that, I gotta warm the area up. Alright, so then we'll get into, I'm gonna follow this line here, so the bone's here, but the muscle, and I'm gonna get into my elbow with it. Now, I'm holding his leg so that when I'm pushing, I have something also I'm leaning on there. Okay, we're going to do fist glide stripping. Okay, so we're doing a cross horizontally. Okay, and then I'm going to do double thumb kneading to that area too. His calves don't have as much for me to worry about, so it's not as tight. So depending on the client, I might have to do it more, but okay. And then we would end off with the other leg, so you would do the other leg.